Good evening, everyone. Good evening. It says I'm live. Richard, good evening. Quick sound check. Somebody let me know you're here. We will start. Anybody else here or just Richard? Can you hear me? Good morning, Barnaby. Is the sound okay? Hi, Maureen. Hi, Anne. Una. Sound is good. Thank you. Ron, hi. Bella, hi. Good. Good. We can start then. Oh, hi, Barbara. Jane. Gordon and Shirley. Sound okay. Sound okay-ish. Okay. Hello, all of kittens. Okay, I'm going to start. We thought a little bit different today. We'll start with the standing meditation rather than doing it at the end. Sound pick good. Thanks, Anne. So we'll start with a 5-minute meditation just to get our mind settled, get into our bodies feeling, and then we'll do the Tai Chi form. Okay, so little change to the usual format. Good to relax first. Thank you, Lawrence, and hi to you too. Okay, nice to have you here. Let's do it. Remember to put the phone away from the speaker so I don't scare you guys. Start with the hands apart. Make sure you open the hips, raise the crown of your head. Sit down if you want to raise the hands up. You can. Remember, as always, raise from the crown of the head. Lift the rib cage, but sink the air down. Relax. Breathe from the lower abdomen. Release any tension in your hips. If you're squeezing those glutes, not a good time to do that, so let it go. Drop your kneecaps. Imagine your feet are sinking into the ground. Feel and release any tension. Slowly lower the hands. Make some space in the armpits. We go straight into the Qigong. In. Breathe in. Breathe out. Pressing the skull. And repeat. A little further, use the breath. Third and final time. Deep breath. Shake. Do a couple of stretching exercises. We do one for the hip flexors first and then the hamstrings. So hip flexors first. Do your bow and arrow stance, like the Tai Chi form, but more exaggerated. Make sure the knee is out, tracking the toes. I like to put the back of my hand inside the knee to keep this out, to stop you kind of leaning on it and push away from it. Now, as you breathe out, release, drop into the stretch. Come on. And walk the feet in a little to turn around the other way. Make sure you're adjusting so the foot is straight. Again, back of the hand inside of the knee. Make sure you're pushing because the stretch is here, so you need to be pushing this way. Doing this isn't stretching. Doing this way, this way. Feet in again. We're going to do a hamstring stretch. So this one, bottom of the heel on the floor, hips towards the corner. So belly button pointing in line with the front toes. Fold from here, but keep this open. So we're not doing this. We're folding. Put your hands on your knee. Press your knee straight and fold. As you breathe out, go further. Changing sides, same idea. Foot to the corner, hips turn, belly button same line as the toes. Fold from the hip. Put the hands on the knee. Also, as well as pressing the knee, I'm dorsiflexing the ankle. That is pulling my toes up strongly. This is not so good for a stretch. This is better. Okay, let's change legs again. Same thing. You find the second time you're able to go deeper. Take the opposite hand, try to reach your toes. Go as far as you can. Every time you breathe out, go a little further. Those of you more flexible, you can grab underneath your foot. And as you breathe out, bring your head towards your foot. Then take the hand off of the knee and add it to the other hand. Add an ankle stretch. If you can tie your shoelaces with your teeth, you're doing the stretch right. Okay, come up gently. Switch feet. Same idea. Square up. Press the knee. Same hand, same knee. Same hand side. Then the opposite hand again, reaching towards your toes. If you're less, even if you're up here, no problem. Just breathe and stretch. Breathe and stretch. If you're more flexible, go further. And then the other hand, add it on. change, a few kicks to swing the legs out. It's good after a static stretch and a dynamic stretch. So with the kick, you're just swinging the leg from the top of the hip joint. So literally just going to swing it up here and then pull it down. And when you pull it down, you engage the muscles to pull, not just passively drop it. Okay. Start with the feet together and have your hands out to the sides. And this is different when you do the Tai Chi form. When you do the Tai Chi form, the arms are soft and going the same direction as the kick. For this exercise, you keep the arms straight to the sides and the kick straight in front. So if you mirror me, you're going to step with your left foot and kick with your right. Let's try that. Step with your left foot and kick with your right. Pull it down and return. This is the tricky bit. Now you're going to step with your right, kick with your left, pull it down and return. So each time you step with the opposite leg. The leg that's just kicked now steps. So stepping with the left foot. We're going to do 10 kicks, 5 on each leg, okay? Stepping with the left foot first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, shake your arms off, shake your legs. Doesn't matter if you got lost on the legs, just the important thing is gradually swing slightly higher as you get warmed up. Here we go. Mike, you're late. No problem, good to see you. Dave Trashler, hi. How are we doing? So, slightly more vigorous. So we did a very gentle standing Qigong and then something to get the blood pumping a little bit. Now we're going to work on our Tai Chi forms. Before we go through that, I will do a Q&A. If there's any posture in the 8 form that people would like me to go into more detail or break down, or step, or the hands, or any questions, I'm going to give you guys a couple of minutes for questions. If not, then I'll just go through the complete 8 sequence a few times. I'm happy to break down if there's any questions. How the hips move during step out from first step. Now, do you mean, are you talking about literally the stepping out to this part, or are you talking about after the commencing form, stepping out to the, to brush knee push, 8 form? Wants to know why Tai Chi makes her yawn from any T step. Okay, yeah, sure, I can do that. Why does Tai Chi make you yawn? Can't answer that. It's supposed to increase the amount of oxygen in the body. So when you're yawning, it's usually because you can't quite get enough oxygen in, so the body's going to start pulling more and to, open up the blood vessels and so on. So either that or it's my scintillating personality is making her fall asleep. Because you relax. That's a better answer. There you go. From any T steps, so we'll go over that, see if there's any other questions coming up. Okay, so Bowl of Kittens question. From any T step, how the hips move. Now, from any T step, because it kind of depends on what your movement you're doing and what your intention is as to how the hips are going to move. For example, part horse's mane, your intention is on the lead hand, whereas brush knee push, your intention is on the rear hand. So it's slightly different. It depends how much you want me to geek out on this and how much detail. Hip movement and foot rotation, yeah, okay, so it's a similar, okay, this is something you've spotted and you're like, which one is it? I mean, yeah, okay, let's talk a little bit about that. Loads of geek, please. Don't get me started. Don't get me started. Okay. So, for example, part horse's mane. Now, I need to make sure that this is open, so I'm not doing this. You see this? So I have a feeling like like when you snap a wishbone, that you're doing this. So you're spreading here first. Okay, so this is opening. Now I need to rotate so that my hip comes here. When I do brush knee push, can you see this is wrong? When I do brush knee push, my hip needs to be here. So for brush knee push, it's more square. For part horse's mane, yes, it rotates, but it does not square up. It does not do this. Just to here. So look, wrong, right, wrong, right. Hand in line with the mouth. Okay, now this hand, in order for this to line up, if I push straight ahead, I don't know if this makes sense. I'll explain this in a bit better detail. It's to do with the angle of the shoulder here. Okay, I need to line up. Now, there is an optimum angle of the shoulder. When you push, what we're trying to do, I seem to be buffering, I hope you guys can see me. When you push, what you're trying to do is push in line with the shoulder joint. If I try and push across here, it's collapsing. If I try and push here, my weight isn't behind it. The optimal position is with this kind of down and this engaged so that the push involves the whole body. It's like a thread turning on a screw. When it starts at the foot and it threads all the way through to the top. So from the tip of the screw to the head of the screw, right? You see that? Now I can only do that if I'm not across this shoulder now. If you do this, experiment with this. Bring your arm across and you'll feel this. That's why when we do the standing meditation, I make a deal about keeping a space in your armpit. When you push, that space is there. Enough space for an egg, not enough space for a chicken. Once the shoulder comes out, this is wrong. This needs to be lowered. Okay, down. This is up. This bit is up. This bit is down. This bit is open. This bit is closing. Now, if you understand that, the hips need to direct. Okay, so if I need to push here, my hips need to direct that. That makes no sense for this movement, because now this is completely broken. This movement this is the position. What I would do if we had a class, I would get you to partner up, and one person can push the other person's arm, and if you're in this position, you can hold it really strongly, really easily, because it's structurally sound. Okay? If you try it out here or in here, it's going to collapse. So you need to find this. You need to find this place. Okay, now you understand how to line that up from the floor to the hand. So here. Now, if you notice, my hips are going this way. So if I were to be pushing with this hand, it wouldn't be correct. If I'll be pushing with this hand, it's okay. There's a posture called single whip, where you're pushing with this hand, and that's fine. If I try and push like this, it's going to be across myself. I need to be here. Whereas when I do brush knee push, this is the motion. Now to answer Barnaby's question. The back foot. In all athletic movement, right? Almost all athletic movement. Tennis, golf, baseball, whatever you see them teaching, coaching. And there's always a rotation. So like if I'm throwing something, this foot, it's not just that it's going to push, it needs to rotate in order to develop a force. Okay? If I'm throwing a javelin, it's going to be the same thing, right? There has to be a rotation. Otherwise it's stuck. Otherwise it's not connecting through. Okay, so you'll see this motion. And in fact, in some styles of Tai Chi, for example, Sun style of Tai Chi, that's exactly what they do. They'll actually step up with this foot. Now, in the Yang style, which is where the 8 form comes from, the idea is that you're trying to maintain the foot on the floor for stability. So, for example, in shot put or javelin or something like that, you're trying to throw it as far as you can. So you've got one maximum effort, okay? But martial arts are not like that. If I throw one maximum effort and I miss, I'm very vulnerable because then the other person can throw one back at me, right? So there's a compromise. There's always a compromise between stability and agility, and between offense and defense. So what I want to do is I want to get the same feeling, the same drive, the same like rotation on the ball of the foot. Okay. The only difference now is that I'm keeping my foot down. Okay, I'm keeping my foot down, but it's this. This is here, but it's more subtle. Okay, so I've got the same idea. Look at this. This is still pushing. So I still have that engagement here. And I'm turning, but I'm not trying to turn per se. I'm pushing and rotating the hip, and that causes the foot to turn. Okay? Once you've got that feeling, it's very natural. People argue for days about this stuff on the internet. Oh, do you turn on the heel? Do you turn on the ball? So I think if you watch, how many Olympic athletes do you see turning on the heel for imagine a boxer throwing a right cross and trying to do this. It's not natural. Okay, I'm not saying some people can't make it work. With training, you definitely can make it work, but it's not natural. Okay, so most boxers, however, will lift the heel up. They'll lift the heel up. What we're trying to do is keep it down but not collapsed. That's why it's the arrow leg. It's still engaged. So brush, push, here, step. Watch the back foot. And tying the two questions together, this rotating is what aligns the hip. If this doesn't rotate, if the foot doesn't rotate, you can't align the hip because the knee's pointing the wrong way. This rotates, now you can align the hip. So in the Tai Chi, they call this, translating it into English, is something like every joint has a linking rotation. Sort of translated from the Chinese. Every joint link rotates. Okay, that helps. So particularly they're both quite open, and then lower stance before stepping, move to different angles for different poses. 100% correct. Both quite open and then lower stance before stepping. Correct. Yes. And you lower the stance into the standing leg, not into the stepping leg. And the other thing is, it's when you lower your stance, it's as you become more advanced, it's really more intention down. You don't need to physically drop. You shouldn't be too much. But a little's okay. Inch or so is okay. Barnaby, rotation synchronized with push. I would say they finish at the same time. So as I turn. So it's like as I said, it's like a screw thread. So if you think, think of it this way. Think of a screw thread. When you're screwing into the wall, are you rotating or are you pushing? Think of a screwdriver. With a screwdriver, you don't need to push the screw into the wall. You just turn the screw and the screw will drive into the wall. That's my answer. Okay, let's do, because we're almost half an hour, so let's do our 8 form. Hope that's helpful. Both, okay. Both. I'm trying to think of that. If you've got an electric drill, you can get hammer drills, right? But a normal electric drill is just rotation. There's no hammer action, just rotation. So for a normal drill, just rotate. You don't need to push. If you rotate, it creates the push. So They're kind of the same thing. There's no straight lines in Tai Chi. It's like every movement. If you look at the human anatomy, you know, every movement comes out of multiple planes of angles. And when you try to, some styles of martial art try to say, well, you must be exactly straight, so this has to be exactly here, and this must be exactly here, and in theory, it's like the most efficient, and it's the shortest distance between 2 points, and blah, blah, blah. When you talk, it sounds beautiful, and people can talk a great fight like that. Then you watch a boxing match or MMA match, and it's like, no. Because if theory is right, body doesn't move that way naturally. And as soon as you're stressed, especially if you get hit and you come back and all your, what do you call them? Your intuitive responses, all of your reflexive actions all come out. They're all, and if they are at odds, so if your martial art is here, my Sifu used to call this Sin Tin Hao Tin. Sin Tin means before heaven. Hao Tin means after heaven. Sin Tin means before heaven. So in our modern Western speech, we would say Sin Tin is DNA. You were born with it, it's inherited. All of our inherent bequeathed movement patterns, what would they call them? Reflexive movements, right? That's Sin Tin. Hao Tin is after training. Like you have to train, like certain movements, like using a knife and fork or whatever, they're learned. You're not born with them, you have to figure them out, okay? But they have to be in harmony. So Sin Tin, Hao Tin together, like in the Tai Chi should be learned movement, but it shouldn't be at odds with your body's natural way of moving. Okay, that's the best. The two things together, yin and yang. So we have training and then we have reflex, and the two things come together. Otherwise, you'll see this all the time. People learn martial art and it's theoretically great, and then as soon as they try to use it for real, it all disappears because it doesn't fit with their body's natural movement. So I'm kind of I'm big into that idea. Always looking at like what are fundamental movement patterns within. So like if you're learning martial art, for example, and fighting, what are the most common recurring movement patterns? How do we improve those? How do we make those stronger, faster, more accurate, so on and so forth? Instinctive. Sin Tin is instinctive. Sin Tin is instinctive, and what we're trying to do is combine the instinctive with the trained. We're trying to make them into one thing. So both together. So it's the human, right? We have the animal, and then we have the higher mind, but we need to integrate them. So we're intelligent, but at the same time we're natural at the same time. So okay. Otherwise, if you do just have one, say it's theory, it's good, it doesn't stand to practice. And in the other one, you can be fighting like blindly, like with blind, pure instinct, pure rage. You won't have much luck against someone that has good technique. Okay. So you need both. You need both. Okay. You wanted me to geek out, I geeked out. Now we're going to do our Tai Chi form. Eight form, please. Okay. Okay, we'll do one with my back towards you. Follow along, please. Okay. That's it. Well done, everybody. We did the standing meditation at the beginning today rather than the end. So we went through the standing Qigong. We did some stretching, 8 form, 8 Qigong, front and back. So answered a couple of questions. Hope that was good for everyone. Thanks to everyone that purchased the course last week of the Douyin set. I did put a lot of work into that, filmed it from all different angles, did a translation, did a manual, MP3 downloads and so on. And obviously that's how I'm making my living and how I'm keeping this place open at the moment. So all your support is greatly appreciated. So there's some good material on the online academy. Please consider purchasing some courses. And those of you that are in our virtual academy, the new lessons are up today for the week to be working on. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Oh, thank you. Excellent, Kikuri. Happy to be of service. Thank you all, and I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you. Oh, final question. Okay. Tongue to roof of mouth in all Qigong. Yes, generally yes. I'll go more detail tomorrow. Generally yes. Thanks, Ron, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.